This is Shad Jessen, Communications and Training Manager for the Office of Information Technology at Boise State University.
This is Peter Jurhs with Boise State University.
And Mark Fitzgerald, Director of Customer Care at Boise State.
So I want to talk to you both about the Google Apps Northwest Users Group meeting that was held earlier this summer at Boise State. And Peter, you're our representative in that group. Why was that group held at Boise State University, and can you tell us a little bit about what the Northwest Users Group is?
Well, it was held at Boise State partially because we're on the leadership for the Northwest Google Apps Users Group to help direct and guide the group to form events and do that. And we had an opportunity to provide space for an event that really worked out pretty well. It came down to a whole bunch of things coming together. One, Google willing to help sponsor and help us put together a really cool event, and two, willingness for people to come, and it turned out pretty good.
I know that Northwest Nazarene University was involved. Can you tell me a little bit about who else came to that event? We had folks from Portland State. We had a couple people attend virtually, Bill Wakefield from Alaska, and then the co-lead for the group, Chinham from UNLV, was able to attend that way also. And then for that, we had some folks from Idaho State University, let's see, and Arizona State were there. I know there's a couple others, but the names escape me off the top of my head. Mark, when you get together at events like these with peers and colleagues, what do you learn about Google Apps and how other institutions are leveraging the software at their universities?
Well, I think that's what's neat about it, is we all face the same challenges and same issues because we're all trying to teach other groups, and we're trying to figure out how to use Google Apps in a way that's really going to benefit the students, the faculty, and the staff. It's just a nice experience to be able to sit down, talk over with people that are trying to accomplish the same thing. What we found is some groups are highly successful using some parts of Google Apps, but yet they're still wanting to learn how others are using it. It's kind of a continuum in which we're all sharing and learning from each other.
And Peter, what do you think that people learned from us about how we use Google Apps at Boise State? Because we've been using it since 2008. And what did you learn from how other people are using it?
They learned a few of the things that we've done that were more forward-looking, and being open and enabling some of the consumer apps right when they became available last summer, and being able to look at enabling the faculty and staff to collaborate in ways that go outside of the standard email, chat, documents that were in the standard suite there, to include some of the features such as Google Plus now and the Hangouts like we're doing here today for maybe office hours or some of those other things that are enabled. I think that's kind of what we brought to the table. What we learned from them is our challenges are their challenges, kind of like Mark said, and everybody has their own take and processes, and it's about looking at what other people have done and adapting what was successful for them to come over to us. A good example is at the University of Alaska, they have a lot more staff around some of the automation pieces than we have, but really they're running in a very similar environment, so their process may be a little bit more rigid with creating groups, but we're still doing a lot of the same things.
Mark, what was your takeaway from the meeting?
My takeaway was really about giving back to the community. As many of the people there have been working with students, we've taken a lot of effort and focused on working with faculty and staff, and it gave us the chance to really share that experience with them. And I think they were eager to hear about how we were doing things with mobility, how we were doing things at the help desk, how we were using it in the classroom. A lot of them focused on the student use, and they're probably using it probably better than we are with the students. And so we could learn from them on how they were getting students to adopt it and to leverage the tools. But we were also, I really had a lot of satisfaction being able to share our story and how we've been successful with our faculty and staff.
Yeah, and in terms of sharing our story, I found their email account. It's
Right.
so much more, and we can really all learn from each other as we go forward. Peter, can you describe how you think Boise State's relationship with Google has evolved over the years?
I think we probably in the Google world aren't the biggest fish in the pond, but we're a very important fish because we were early with the faculty and staff in moving that. We've been one that helped lead the charge and talk about some of the cool things that you could do if everybody's using Google Apps and do that. Some of the things I was leveraged for a Google Customer Connect conference to talk about how we manage our Google Apps domains, and was able to help contribute to their discussion on where we are, what it looks like for us, and how that differs from what the current picture is today with how Google's changed the technology.
Mm-hmm. So Google releases and refreshes applications all the time, constant change. How can people keep up with all that's going on?
It's about investing yourself. You know, it's learning how to use the tool, but also learning the methodology that Google uses. What I find different about Google, you know, it has that continuous release cycle, but it's more of a mindset than a tool. The way you share out things and putting the user in control of who's sharing things rather than a system administrator or a security person in a locked room, by enabling that end user to share things, you really end up with a different mindset of how you govern IT. And once you've made that change to that mindset, supporting it becomes a lot easier, because now it's a two-way partnership between the people using the tool and the people supporting the tool, where before it was more of a almost a parent-child relationship. Now there's this equality in saying, let's focus on what you're trying to accomplish and see how Google would approach trying to do that. And as a result, support has really changed. Even though it's constantly in flux, we're not really dealing with, hey, the button's moved. We used to at first, but people have adapted and no longer are scared of, you know, that button slide to the left a little bit, or they changed from words to a graphic, or some of those constant changes you see in the Google world.
All right. Well, do you have any other points about the Google Apps Northwest Users Group that you want to talk about, Peter, as far as your involvement or future Boise State involvement?
So the Google Apps Users Group we want to keep as kind of an active community. It's really one that I'm trying to invest in and get some energy behind. And the more the group together contributes to the greater good of everybody by collaborating, the better the group's going to be. Some examples of that is I'm working on continuing to get a Google Plus page set up for the group. I want to post some of the videos from the conference on the group that we put together, some of the details, and get those out there and get some ways for the group to do that, in addition to putting together some, you know, twice, maybe 3 times a year, a hangout on air, kind of like we're doing here today, to talk about a topic where we get together, we have some of the key players that have some knowledge on a topic, determine who those are, and get somebody to talk about maybe what are they doing with the new Google widget of the day, and see how we can learn together to how to leverage those. And those are some of the things that we want to continue to get out of the group, and some of the leadership and details that I'm trying to bring forward.
Yeah. Mark, any closing thoughts?
You know, I'm really appreciative that Google helped us put it together. Anytime that I can get together with peers and talk about how we can improve things for students, how we can improve learning in the United States and really across the world, you know, it gives us a chance to make a difference. And the fact that Google helped us pull together this conference, that I can get together with peers and share with them and then share with me it was just a really neat experience, and I'm grateful that we had that opportunity.
Thank you for joining us today, and more information about the Google Apps Northwest Users Group will be on Bronco Bytes. It's broncobytes.boisestate.edu, the Office of Information Technology at Boise State University. And have a great day, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Shad.
Bye.